Thank you. I'm fighting a head cold, so I will. I may sniffle a little bit, but I will do my best. But thank you to all of you for having us tonight and having me. For those of you who don't know me, as you heard, I'm Vincent Gentile, and I've been a member of the New York City Council since 2003, and I am the chair. I'm the most senior member of the City Council. I'm the chair of the Oversight and Investigations Committee. And prior to being the city councilman, I served parts of Staten Island as a New York state senator from 1997 to 2002. In fact, I was such a presence in my district in Staten Island that I was endorsed twice very strongly by the Staten Island Advance for re-election, saying that I was a presence not only in my district in Staten Island, but all over Staten Island. So prior to being a state senator in Staten Island, I was a prosecutor. I was also a prosecutor, assistant district attorney in the county of Queens. And I was in the Special Victims Bureau, as well as the Major Case Narcotics Bureau, and then I was a supervisor in the Grand Jury Bureau during those 11 years. So now I come to you, after all that experience, I come to you as a legislator applying for a legislator's job. A member of Congress is the legislator's job. And I come to you with 18 years experience as a legislator, and that's one of the reasons I say to you that I am the better choice in this race. But certainly I'm a little disappointed because I came here thinking we were going to have a debate, and I was ready for that. In fact, I changed my schedule. We were going to have an event back on the other side of the bridge, and I changed the schedule so I could be here for the debate tonight. So I'm a little disappointed that all our schedules couldn't be changed, so we both could be here and debate tonight. But that being said, let me just say to you that why I think it's important to have a legislator in a legislator's job, because there is a lot to do in this job as a legislator. We have to help middle-class families, and we have to do that quickly because of what's happening just in the first couple of months of this new Congress. First of all, when you look at middle-class families, we know there are a lot of families that today have full-time jobs but still struggle to pay the bills every month. And that partly is because wages have been flat for many, many years. And as cost of living goes up, wages stay flat. And part of that is because of some of the trade deals we've made. But what we need to do right away is to support the president's call for an increase in the minimum wage to $10 an hour immediately, and then over the next couple of years to raise it to $13 an hour and index it to inflation. That in and of itself will help many middle-class families pay the bills from month to month, and that's an immediate thing that we can do to help middle-class people. For those of you who are not struggling to pay bills every month, we could still do things to help middle-class families, middle-class homeowners. And that is many of us on the island and throughout this district who are in the middle class hit what is known as the AMT. And when you hit this bracket, when you make this amount of money and you hit the alternative minimum tax, you start to lose your tax exemptions. And when you start to lose your tax exemptions, guess what? You end up paying more tax. And the reason is that this cap, this ceiling where you hit the alternative minimum tax is too low. And many Staten Islanders are hitting it and are losing their tax exemptions. One thing we can do to help those middle-class families is either to raise that level beyond which we won't hit it, or just eliminate it altogether. That is absolutely, that is something we need to do right away. And I will, that's one of my first things that I want to do when I get to Congress. Certainly, we have to look at the budget also when it comes to seniors, because the proposals that have been made now in Congress directly affect seniors, and seniors are probably per capita the most in our district in the entire city of New York. The proposals that are being made now would change Medicare as we know it. It would change Medicaid as we know it. It would change Social Security significantly, and would change and decrease the cost of living adjustments in Social Security. Those are the things that we can't do, and I have a proposal, a side proposal that would work to make Social Security secure, so we're not always fighting to fund Social Security. I have a plan that would make Social Security secure. We need to renew the Older Americans Act. The Older Americans Act pays for the nutritional programs and the senior centers that keep seniors independent, out of hospitals, and out of nursing homes. That Older Americans Act is up for renewal, and it hasn't been renewed yet because I'm told there aren't enough advocates in Congress to get it renewed. I want to be one of those advocates for the Older Americans Act when I get there. And certainly, we need to create jobs through infrastructure and transportation, those kinds of projects. Frankly, when we talk about infrastructure and we talk about transportation, we talk in Staten Island about ferry service. I am a champion of ferry service, and I've often said that New York City does a better job of getting New Jerseyites into Manhattan than they do getting New Yorkers into Manhattan. And I've been an advocate in my district, in my council district, to get ferry service after Sandy, and we had a ferry service for about 1.5 years, and now we have been included in the citywide plan that's going to start up ferry service in my council district in 2017. I think we need to do that here in Staten Island. We need to add a South Shore ferry service, commuter ferry, possibly from the old Arthur Kill Correctional Facility. You have all the parking there, and if we were to build a spud barge or a dock, we could have commuter service from there, and we can give the South Shore residents another way to get into Manhattan. When it comes to other proposals that have been made, like light rail proposals on the West Shore, or the light rail, bringing the light rail over the Bayonne Bridge from Bergen. You know, all of those things take federal money, and any light rail project that has been done in this country has had federal money. They've had it in Buffalo, they've had it in Cleveland, they've had it in Denver. All those light rail projects had federal money. Our projects that we're talking about has zero. All of them have zero federal money attached to them. That's because a member of Congress has to make sure they bring back that money. That's one of the things we need to do. We can get those projects going, we can get those jobs going with that kind of money. And same thing when it comes to rebuilding the rest of the expressway. When we do the expressway, the Staten Island Expressway is only rehabbed up to a certain point, and then you need more federal money to finish it off. That's what a member of Congress can do, bring that money back. And raising of the Bayonne Bridge is another area where, again, that's a bridge that goes between New Jersey and New York. That should have federal money. Right now it doesn't. That's what a member of Congress can do. So if a member of Congress is present, engaged, and an advocate for his or her community, then that member of Congress can be successful in bringing back the things that will help the community, but also creating the conditions that will make jobs and the economy better for all of us. That's the kind of member of Congress I want to be. With your support, I will do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I will jump right into the questions. Do you agree that without restoring manufacturing, the middle class is doomed?
Yes, without restoring manufacturing, the middle class is doomed. And that's why I believe we should not be rewarding companies and corporations that outsource their jobs to overseas. We should not be rewarding them. We should be rewarding those companies that keep and create jobs here in this country. And one of the things we should be doing right away, for those who are outsourcing their jobs and outsourcing their profits, we should be imposing a tax on those overseas profits. Right now, the companies do not make profits, do not pay taxes on those overseas profits. That's wrong. And that's why they're doing it, because they don't pay taxes on those overseas profits. In order to discourage that, we need to tax those overseas profits.
Okay, so then we're gonna not ask you then the question, are you in favor of Congress repealing the rule that allows American multinational companies to defer their US taxes on their own ship?
Answer.
Asked and answered. Okay, if according to the Supreme Court, corporations are now indeed on the same level as people in terms of participating in government, would you support taxing corporations the way people are taxed, on the whole of their income as opposed to their profits only?
Well, I certainly would consider that as a possibility, because if that, as the definition of the Supreme Court seems to suggest, that corporations now are people, then certainly I would look at something. But you know what? It really is what we need to do is look not so much at an interpretation of that court case, but ways that we can build jobs, ways that we can create jobs. And I think we could do that with incentives rather than just tax people or tax corporations.
Okay. Do you support fast track trade authority in regards to trade deals, in particular the Trans-Pacific Partnership? I
do not. I am opposed 110% against fast tracking of trade deals. It is within the purview of the Congress to debate, review, and amend any kind of trade deal. For Congress to give up that power is outrageous, and for it to even be suggested, it should not be. When somebody gives me something signed, sealed, and delivered and said, here, take it, either vote yes or no, but you can't change it, that worries me to start with, right? Something's up. If they say, here's the package, you can't change it, all you can do is vote up or down, you can't change it. That's not the way we as a Congress should act, and that's the way, and so I would oppose any fast tracking.
Okay, and what are your thoughts on the TPP?
TPP is bad for jobs, it's bad for labor, it's bad for business. The TPP will allow outsourcing of jobs far more than you ever saw with NAFTA. We saw what happened with NAFTA. TPP will do that even more. It will be bad for the environment because it is some of the provisions that we know about would allow the barrier reef in Australia and other places to be explored by corporations to be used. That is wrong. And the most interesting part of it is that it would take away, the TPP would take away the jurisdiction of the United States and other countries should a corporation feel that their profits are being threatened based on a country's law. They would have the power to sue that country and have a tribunal, not the country itself, but an independent tribunal, decide whether or not that country is prohibiting the profits of the corporation. I don't want the United States of America to give up its jurisdiction. I don't think you want that either. And that's what the TPP would do. It is wrong, it is bad, and it should not be passed.
NAFTA is the only trade deal that allows the United States to pull out of it. Would you be willing to support or introduce legislation that would do so?
Yes.
That's two very quick yeses on the one. Would you consider a reinstatement of a corporate alternative minimum tax? Wait, I'm sorry. We have to scratch that question. Would you support an amendment to the Constitution that would overturn the Supreme Court Citizens United decision that allows for dark money that is untraceable and unlimited to be used to finance our elections?
Yes. I think that Citizens United has turned politics and campaigning on its head, and has allowed money to again rule the process. So yes, I would support anything that would overturn Citizens United.
What are your ideas to ensure that the average American has a voice in our representative republic?
I think the average American has a voice when the people that they elect are active and engaged and provide opportunities like civic groups here tonight, the civic group here tonight has, to be able to engage with elected officials. because, you know, I have to tell you, when I'm on the campaign trail and I'm talking to people, I never know when I'm going to get a great idea or a very interesting comment. And I've talked to a lot of people on this campaign, and that really is the key. To be out there, for the elected official has to be out there with the people, be present, be engaged, and then the population, the people, also have to input to the elected official. That's how I think you get that kind of dynamic in government.
Would you now or consider in the future voting for any national right-to-work legislation?
Right-to-work legislation, actually there is a bill now that would outlaw any of these so-called Scott Walker type right-to-work bills, and I would support that legislation to outlaw it in the Congress.
Do you support prevailing wage Davis-Bacon laws?
Absolutely. Prevailing wage Davis-Bacon laws really show the value of labor unions, because without labor unions, Davis-Bacon would never exist. And without labor unions, we wouldn't have the skill level that we have in the trades. So to have a prevailing wage with skilled workers is the right thing to do, and it's a result of the fact that we have strong labor unions, that we have Davis-Bacon. So yes, I approve of it.
Do you support privatization of Social Security and Medicare?
Well, absolutely not, because right now there's a proposal, a Republican proposal in Congress right now that would take Medicare and make it a voucher system. And you know what? That's a privatization of Medicare. And you know what happens with a voucher system, right? Never works. Never works. And who does it hurt? It hurts the beneficiary, the Medicare beneficiary. They're going to take Medicaid and make it a state block grant system. This is the Republican proposal that just went into Congress this month. And then they're going to take Social Security. There's language now that Social Security, if this language became law, it would decrease future cost of living adjustments for seniors. That is something that is outrageous. So whether it be privatization of Medicare or Medicaid or Social Security, it is wrong, and it's something that I want to go to Washington and join the New York delegation that says not here, not now, not ever.
This question came from the Scouts. Business owners are concerned about the 2015 year of business due to the effects of Hurricane Sandy. How do you intend on helping small business owners of Staten Island and Brooklyn recover from the damage caused by Hurricane Sandy?
Well, first of all, you have to hold FEMA accountable for the wrongdoings that they have overseen with the, I think the mic is off, right? What happened? Okay, there we go. FEMA needs to be held accountable, and it should be held accountable by Congress for the oversight that they haven't done with insurance companies that have committed fraud on many homeowners here in Staten Island. Frankly, we should prosecute. I have not seen a prosecution here on Staten Island against any of these insurance companies who have committed fraud. They've changed the engineer's report by saying not storm-related. It originally said is storm-related, and it was changed to not storm-related damage. That's fraud. That's fraud. I've not seen any insurance company who committed that fraud prosecuted yet on Staten Island. I'd like to see that. I think we should prosecute those financial predators who have caused so many foreclosures here on Staten Island and elsewhere. And frankly, I've not seen any of those prosecutions here on Staten Island either. So those are the types of things. We have to be aggressive when it comes to Sandy victims, because it's over 2 years now, they're still suffering, and I want to be the aggressive advocate when I go to Congress. Not only what I can do in Congress, but use the bully pulpit of the member of Congress to come back and say we need to do these other things that other entities like the district attorney and the U.S. attorney should be doing.
Do you support a raise? I'm sorry. Can you please share your feelings on paid family leave?
Paid family. Can I do this again? Okay, paid family leave is a good thing. It's frankly a thing that helps people when they need it the most, whether it be a sick family member or themselves being sick. I don't want to go to the deli. I've got a head cold, but I wouldn't want to go to the deli and have somebody prepare my breakfast while they're sneezing. And right, I just wouldn't want that. And that person would comes to work because they don't have paid sick leave. And luckily, in the city of New York, that's not the case anymore. Now, I know Mr. Donovan had said similar things. He agreed with the concept, but then disagreed with the fact that it has to be, to institute it, he wasn't sure who should pay for it. So I didn't understand where he really came down on it in the end. I am clearly in favor of paid sick leave. I think the one that we passed this year, it was last year, is the right way to do it, and I think it's helping a lot of people. A lot of people would otherwise drag themselves to work under very dire circumstances and possibly infect others at work, if not the public in general.
Okay, and finally, what is your vision of the role government should play in the lives of everyday Staten Islanders?
Government should do the basics, obviously, but should be the advocate for the people of Staten Island, to give voice to those concerns that Staten Islanders have that can be translated into action in government. That's what government should do on an everyday basis for Staten Islanders. Staten Islanders, everyone in this room has an opinion about something, right? So Staten Islanders should be able to communicate that to their elected official, and then the elected official, as part of government, should give voice to those concerns and make those concerns convert those concerns into action in government.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you all.
Okay, thank you everyone for coming out tonight. I think Rob wanted to say a few words before we go. Hopefully some of the things you heard here tonight from the candidates will allow you to make an informed decision on election day. And let's remember that you can't complain about government if you don't get out and vote. Rob Holst?
May 5th!
May 5th is election day.
Don't forget May 5th! Cinco de Mayo, right? We're gonna have tacos.
Cinco de Mayo. There you go. Go vote and then have some margaritas. Just say thank you. All right, Rob doesn't want to say it. So thank you to everyone for coming out. Thanks to our friends from ATU 726 for providing the hall. And, thank you for coming out on a Monday night. Thank you.